Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So last class we discussed about chapter 7, right? Okay. Can you define food, Sanjana? Just try.
Any substance, solid or liquid, that contains nutrient.
Very good. Then for Nestle, what do you mean by good nutrition? Nestle, are you there? Okay, Sanjana, can you try? What do you mean by good nutrition?
The state in which that a person gets all good nutrients.
The balanced one, right? Okay. So then we discussed about different nutrients like the carbohydrate, protein, fat, water, vitamins and minerals. These are the 6 common nutrients we have, right? Then this carbohydrate, protein, fat and water, they are the macronutrients, the nutrients we need in the larger amount. Then we have the vitamins and minerals, that are the nutrients that we needed in smaller amount. That is why we call them as micronutrients and macronutrients, right? Then on the base of functions, we again classify the food into 4. Physiological function, then we have regulatory function, energy giving function, body building, protective and regulatory. Okay. Then Sanjana, can you summarize it? You can refer the notes, okay? No problem. Just summarize the classification of food based on functions. Just list.
Physiological function.
No. We classify the food on the basis of nutrients into 6. On the basis of function, we classify the food into 4. Energy giving, body building, regulatory and protective. These are the 4. Okay, Nestle is here. It's your turn. Can you summarize? Is it okay? Nestle or... No, I can't hear you, Nestle. No, dear. Yeah, Sanjana.
Based on functions, it is classified into energy giving, body building, protein, protective nutrients, and regulative nutrients. So, in energy giving nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. In body building, proteins, minerals, and water. In protective, vitamins, minerals, and proteins. Then in regulatory, vitamins, minerals.
Regulatory nutrients means these are the nutrients that our body used to regulate all our body functions. Regulatory. Yeah, protective, protect us from diseases. It improve our immune system for our immunity and all. Energy giving, simply they provide energy to our body. They provide calories. Then we have one more, right? The body building. It help to grow, help to reproduce or help to repair tissues, muscle strength and all. Okay. Then we have food groups, right? According to our Indian Council of Medical Research, we have 5 food groups. Yeah, cereals, roots and tubers. Then we have the pulses, nuts and oil seeds, animal foods. That is this milk, meat products, fish products and all. Then we have fruits and vegetables, then fat and sugar. Then we discussed about the food pyramid, right? What about your assignment? Food guide pyramid. Last class I told you, right? Okay. Use A4 sheet. I think that's better. Okay. Give heading the assignment, home science assignment, your name, your class and all. The next page write a paragraph about what is food guide pyramid and include both non-vegetarian and vegetarian food pyramid. Then next page, please draw a food guide pyramid. Okay. If possible, try to stick pictures in
And
each
can you
shelf.
just repeat?
Yes, first page assignment of home science assignment, then second page you can write a paragraph about this food guide pyramid. What is the meaning of food guide pyramid? What is the uses of food guide pyramid? Who introduced this? Yeah, is there any difference between non-vegetarian food guide pyramid or vegetarian food guide pyramid, and in third page you can draw this food guide pyramid of non-vegetarians. Okay, and also if possible try to stick pictures, or you can draw in each shelf like fat, sugars and all. You can refer in Google. Okay, is it fine? Submit after your holidays. Okay, fine. Okay. Did you go through the notes? Okay. Any doubts, Nestle? No. Okay. So let's move on to our next chapter. Chapter 8, Adolescence. Give a heading. Chapter 8, Adolescence. Again, a small, simple chapter. Okay. Chapter 8, Adolescence. For this term 1, we have 3 units for your exam. Okay, 3 units. Just a minute. So, our chapter is adolescence, right? What is the meaning of adolescence? You all are in adolescent stage, right? Or teenagers. We already discussed about different physiological changes, emotional changes and all, right? What is adolescence? Do you have any idea? From this 12 or 10 to 19, 10 to 20, we consider them as adolescent, right? Simply, it is a transition stage, right? That is a perfect definition for our adolescence. Okay, it's a transition stage from childhood to the adulthood. I'm in my early adulthood, right? So the transition from my childhood to this stage, that is called as adolescence. Is it fine? Okay. Then we discussed about the influence of peer in this time, right? Influence of peer groups and all. So, what about your eating habits? I already asked you, right? About this eating habits. Any like this, have you all eaten your breakfast? Nestle? Why? Look, this is a common eating pattern. Skipping meals. Okay? First pattern during the time of adolescence. Yeah? Skipping meals. Is there any particular reason for that? Lack of time? Yeah? Oh, then you can use the chat box, okay? What are the main reasons for skipping meals, Sanjana?
Ma'am, for me, I have class, so I just woke up early.
Yes.
And 7:50 I have class, so I woke up like 7:30 something. No time to eat.
Lack of time. Diet. Oh my God. So it is better to don't skip your meal. Okay, that's better. Okay, don't skip your meal. But don't skip meal. Try to include the fruits, vegetables, all those things as snacks and all. But never skip meals. That will definitely leads to a negative effect. Okay. But don't skip your meals. Then usually when we compare boys and girls, do you know who have this more tendency to skip meals? Yes, due to this thinking. Skipping meal to control our weight. Actually, it's a negative concept. Okay. Try to eat meals at least 3 times. Okay. Then control the food items, which means control the carbohydrate-rich foods. Include more amount of fruits and vegetables, uncooked fruits and vegetables that help you to reduce this weight. Okay, don't skip meals. Always include food. Then some food you can skip, right? There's over carbohydrate rich foods or over amount of rice, more amount of rice you can skip. Then you can cut little bit of non-vegetarian foods. Red meat you can cut. Like this, but never skip meals. Okay, this is the first eating pattern of our adolescence, skipping meals. Okay, then other than this, any other eating pattern other than the skipping meals, particularly in this adolescent time? Yes, you can use the chat box. Sanjana, you can unmute. Yes. What about this Lay's, Kurkure and all? Snacking pattern, right? It's another eating pattern during this time. We skip meals, but the snacks always help to provide calorie when we skip meals. Sometimes we skip meals, but these snacks, they can provide energy to our body. But never eat these kind of fast food as snacks, but try to include the uncooked fruits and vegetables as snacks, if possible, okay? Yeah, it's another eating pattern, snacking pattern. So the snacking also has a positive effect and also negative. Okay. If you skip meals, you can use this snacking method to get the energy or to get the calorie for that day, right? Then anything else other than this? What about this shawarma, pizza and all? What about the trend of the fast food? Yeah. Yeah, Sanjana, it's your turn. Trend of fast food.
Ma'am, I don't know.
Don't know. Fast food. Do you have any idea about fast food, Nestle? The fast food, which means it is less inexpensive, right? And the service is also very fast. That is the fast food means. Okay. All these fast foods have more amount of calorie, more amount of energy, more amount of fat and all. Okay. So it is better to not cut, but to reduce the amount of consumption of this fast foods and all. This is another eating patterns because we know the influence of peer group in this time, right? Yeah, that also leads to this kind of fast food eating pattern. The peer group also influence the fast food eating pattern. Then, yes, yeah. Next one, that is non-traditional eating patterns. Non-traditional eating patterns. How many of you like non-vegetarian foods than sadhya? No, actually, me is that category. I love biryani. I love non-vegetarian foods. Yeah. Suppose if you have sadhya and biryani, my preference is for biryani. Okay. It's a non-traditional eating habits. Okay. Is it clear? Then we have another disordered eating. What about this one? Disordered eating. Any idea? If we are in a worried situation or in stress, what will happen? Sanjana? You are in a worried situation.
We might skip the meal.
Skip meal. Okay, Nestle? What about you? Actually, I eat more. This is the disordered eating due to this worry and all. Yeah? Nestle, are you typing anything? No. Okay. Then dieting. Adolescents are very concerned about our body, our physical appearance, and our weight, our shape and all. Yeah. These are the common dietary patterns in adolescence. So please write the key terms. Missing meals, snacking pattern, eating out, that is eating of fast food, okay? Fast foods, then non-traditional eating patterns, disordered eating and dieting. Okay, you skip meal when you are in worried situation, right, Nestle? So I am the odd one out here, yeah? I eat more when I get problems, okay? This is because of our psychological changes, right, or psychological factors. Some eat more, some eat less, some skip meals, all related with psychology. So please write missing meals. This is chapter 8, okay? Missing meals, snacking, eating out, non-traditional eating pattern, disordered eating and dieting. Sanjana, can you read? These are the common dietary patterns. Okay, you can add your own ideas.
The volume got reduced.
Sanjana? Sanjana?
And
No, it's
the
fine.
mic.
Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah. Okay. These are the common eating patterns during the time of adolescence or during the time of early adulthood. Okay.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Sorry, Nestle? Yes, yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That's okay.
And we all know that this is a time where their nutritional needs also increase, right? Nutritional needs of adolescents also increase because they have lots of changes, right? Yeah. So nutritional needs also increase in this time. Then good eating habits help to prevent chronic diseases. We all know, right? Good eating patterns or good nutritious food, good fruits and vegetable consumption, that always help to prevent the chronic diseases. Yeah, and it also prevent all the illness, chronic illness in future. Okay, so try to eat good food this time during the time of adolescence. Then you can skip all this chronic illness near future. Okay. Nestle, don't skip meals. Okay. Try to reduce the amount of food. Your rice, try to control rice. Okay. Then include more amount of fruits and vegetables before your meal, which means before your meal or before your lunch, before your breakfast, first you eat certain fruits and vegetables, then eat your meal, so you can easily control the amount of food. Okay. Actually, I'm trying hard to gain weight, right, Sanjana? So, please write. This is an activity for you, okay? Factors affecting eating behavior. Factors affecting eating behavior. You are going to list certain factors that affecting your eating behavior or your friends, your families and all. Any factors that affect your eating behavior. I'll give an example. Mood, stress, time, all these are the certain factors. So like this, please write. Yeah. Finish? Okay, Nestle, you can read.
Accepts
Mm.
stress.
Mm.
Then when I'm in an angry mood.
Mm-mm. Your emotions. Single term is enough. All your emotions, the stress, anger and all. Yeah, then.
Then I don't get any.
All these are psychological factors, right? Other than this, Sanjana?
Ma'am, online class, lack of hunger, sleeping mode,
Online
new
class.
movie, new movie, then dislike of
I
food.
can't hear you, dear. It's heavy raining here. Yeah.
Online class,
Hmm.
mood swings,
Hmm.
lack of hunger,
Hmm. Lack of appetite. Yeah.
sleeping mode,
Sleeping.
Yeah, like if I
Desire
don't
to
want to
sleep longer in morning, right? A common problem for the skipping meal, common factor, yes.
new movie,
Sorry? Then
dislike of food,
dislike of food, okay. Lots of factors, right?
excess water
Then how you gain
dependence.
weight? Okay. So let's discuss few factors here. Okay, there are 4 factors: individual influences, social environment, physical environment, and macro system. Okay, all your answers are right. Okay, so we are going to put your answers in each heading. Some in individual, some in social, physical, and macro system. Individual influences, we have biological factors. Okay, in individual influences or individual factors, there are certain factors, individually influencing factors. So first one, that is biological factors. Biological factors like taste preference is entirely different, right? Hunger is also different. Yeah, this hunger and taste preference are the examples of biological factors. Okay, these are the biological factors only related to particular individual. Nestle, what about your hunger? More or less or normal? More or less? It's better.
Less.
Less. Okay. Sanjana? High. Here also. Don't think too much about our weight, okay? Don't bother about underweight, overweight and all. Okay, then we have I'm having a different food preference than Nestle, right? My food preference is entirely different from Sanjana. Yeah. So this food preferences and our beliefs, vegetarian beliefs and all, that comes under the behavioral factors. Behavioral factors. Food preferences and beliefs. Then we have psychological factors. All factors related to Nestle, right? Our stress, emotions, other than mood swings, all these are the psychological factors leads to individual factors. These are the individual factors. Then we have economic factors. What about this one? We need money, right? We need money or we need time to eat. Sorry, we need money. That is the economic thing. We need money to buy certain foods. Yeah, that is the most important factor that influencing our eating pattern. Money to buy costly foods or money to buy highly nutritious food, money to buy the medical foods, probiotics and all. Yeah, nutritious food and all. Then we have social environment. What about parents' preference? Parents' preference. Yeah. Suppose if we are parents, we don't like one particular food, we never prepare that food, right? Parents' preference to our child, to our family and all, okay? That is a social environment one. Parents do not eat vegetables and automatically their child also not ready to eat this vegetables and all. At least try to act, we are eating, yeah? Then peers, what about this one? Social environment. Social environment means other than us, right? Our school, our teachers, our friends, our neighbors, all these are our social environment. Surroundings, yeah. Peers, what about this one? We all know this is a time where we spend lots and lots of time with peers. So automatically this peers influence our food habits or our eating habits. Okay, so peers. Then we have physical environment. Physical environment, that's another factor. Now it's very easy to get food, right? Lots of delivery options are there. Yeah, that is a physical environment. The ease of obtaining foods like home delivery that influences the eating patterns of adolescents. Then last factor, that is macro system. What about the media influence? Is it high or Nestle? Influence of media in our eating pattern. Actually, it's very powerful, right? Think about these ads and all. Ad of dairy milk. Yeah. Ad of Galaxy. Yes, Sanjana? Add anything to this point? Media, influence of media.
And like they influence us to buy certain products.
Yeah. This is a time where they influenced more with this TV, the ads in TVs and all. Yeah. So these are the common factors that influence the adolescents or early adulthood or teenagers. Okay. First one, individual factors. Then we have social factors. Then physical factors and macro system. Macro system, media and all, that was the macro system. So we have biological factors that influence our food, like our hunger, taste, only related to that particular individual. Then we have behavioral, our emotions, psychological, behavioral, that means our food preference and all. Then economic, money. Okay, is it clear? So please write. These are the factors. Finish? Am I audible? Yeah. So next we are going to discuss about eating disorders. Okay? Eating disorders. So simply these eating disorders are not very simple one. Yeah? Something more, which means these eating disorders that leads to life-threatening effects. Okay, we have this anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa. I know these are, just a minute. So eating disorders, okay. So commonly we have anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. These are the two common eating disorders. Okay, I'll show you. All these disorders are very serious, very, very serious. Sometimes it leads to life-threatening effects, okay? And all these are the psychological problems also, okay? Psychological related issues. So please write, eating disorders are potentially life-threatening psychiatric disorders. Look. All these anorexia and bulimia, all these are the psychiatric disorders. Eating disorders are potentially life-threatening psychiatric disorders. So all these disorders, all these eating disorders are commonly or frequently appear during your age, during the adolescence or during teenage. Okay, that is the onset. Onset means the starting stage. The first symptom that appears during the time of adolescence. Okay, so we are going to discuss about two common eating disorders, anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. Okay, so other than this two, we have another eating disorder, that is binge eating disorder. Binge eating disorder. Okay, but in your syllabus you have only two eating disorders. Okay, anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. It's fine, right? Yeah. There is a big difference between this anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. Please note the spelling, okay? Anorexia nervosa, anorexia nervosa. This is a condition where simply means, this is a simple condition which means they are very thin and they refuse to eat food. Okay? They look very thin and they refuse to eat food. That is anorexia nervosa. First you listen, okay? Then we have bulimia nervosa. They eat more amount of food. Okay? They eat more amount of food and they use certain methods to vomit that food. Okay? This is another condition. That is why we call this as psychiatric disorders. Okay? Is it fine? So first one, anorexia nervosa, they look very thin and they always refuse to eat food. In bulimia nervosa, they eat more amount of food without gaining weight. They eat more but without gaining weight. That is bulimia nervosa. Commonly we call as bulimia. Okay? So look here. Look this picture. How serious it is. Is it clear, the picture? Yeah? Actually they are very thin, right? But according to them, they look very fat. That is the condition. Okay, that is why they reduce or they refuse to eat. So this is the condition, or it starts in early to middle adolescence. Early to middle adolescence. Onset or the starting stage, that is early to middle adolescence. From 10 to 16 or 17 and all. Okay. Then they are extremely thin. These are the signs. We can identify the person with these signs. Okay. They are extremely thin and rapid loss of weight, loss of menstrual period, complaints of nausea and constipation. What is this nausea and what is this constipation? Nausea. Nestle?
Yes, coach.
Nausea means? Any idea? This one. Nausea. Nausea. Any idea? Actually, it's an urge to vomit. A discomfort in stomach and that leads to an urge to vomit. That is nausea. Then we have constipation, difficulty in passing stool. That is constipation. Okay, these are the certain signs for them. The person with anorexia nervosa. Okay, then they exercise excessively. They refuse to eat. This point is very important. And they are obsessed by food. They are obsessed by food. Do you know what is the common cause of this anorexia nervosa? Modeling and all. That is the main cause of this anorexia nervosa. They need to control their weight, right? They need to, or they want to look thin. Yeah, that is the main cause, the modeling or community pressure. So please write our first one. Give heading anorexia nervosa and only write this first, second and this point. Starting stage, that is early to middle adolescence, they look extremely thin and refuse to eat. Refuse to eat. Okay? Yeah. Extremely thin. They look extremely thin and they refuse to eat. That is anorexia nervosa. The main cause, that is community pressure like modeling, media pressure, macro systems due to the ads and all. Okay, these are the certain causes. So our next eating pattern, that is bulimia nervosa. The first difference, that is the symptoms start from the late teens and the early 20s. In anorexia nervosa, the onset is early to middle, but here in bulimia nervosa, the symptoms start from late teens, which means 19, 20 and all. Then early 20s, 21, 22, 23, that stages. Okay. Then this is the stage where they eat large meals but without gaining weight. Bulimia nervosa means the person eat more amount of food but they never gain weight. Okay, so they use certain measures to reduce their weight. They usually purge. What is the meaning of purging? Any idea? Purging simply means clearing out. They try to clear out the food, that is purging. Okay, so commonly they use two methods: bulimia with purging and bulimia without purging. Okay, bulimia with purging means after eating food they put their fingers and they try to vomit the food out forcefully. This is the condition. Okay, what is the need, right? But it is a psychological or the psychiatric disorder. Okay, bulimia with purging, try to vomit a food forcefully. Sometimes they also use laxatives, the medicines, to vomit and also to pass the food. Next is bulimia without purging. Bulimia without purging. Again they eat more amount of food, but after this they follow very strict diet. This is the main difference. And they feel fatigue, weakness due to the malnutrition because they purge the food out, right? They always try to clear out the food. This is the other condition. Please write, okay? A common sign that is after eating food, they leave that room, often to washroom and all for this purging purpose, okay? But they eat more amount of food. And they also feel uncomfortable in eating in front of others because they already know they have some problems with this eating. Okay, my eating habit is not good. They have that realization, so they always try to avoid eating in front of others. Okay, but they eat large amount of food, then they purge or they use excessive exercise methods. So I'll repeat once again, this eating disorders is very serious. There are two types of eating disorders, common eating disorders. Other than this, we have a number of other eating disorders, but common eating disorders are anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. Okay, anorexia nervosa means they look very thin, but they feel they are overweight and they refuse to eat food. Okay. Here in bulimia nervosa, commonly we call bulimia, this is a condition where the person or the patient who eat more amount of food, they eat more food, then they use excessive exercise method to control their body weight, or sometimes they use purging methods, they use laxatives or they put fingers to vomit out the food forcefully. Okay. So there are two types of bulimia. One is bulimia with purging, another one bulimia without purging. So they, after eating food, they always leave that room to use a washroom, okay, for using washroom. Is it clear? Next class I will repeat once again, okay. Any doubts? No, right? Simple topic, right? So today we discussed about certain factors that influencing the eating pattern of adolescents and some common problems like the skipping meals and all, fast food, eating fast foods, disordered eating, certain factors. Okay, other than this we discussed about the influence of peer, media influence that affect the eating patterns. Then we discussed about two eating disorders, anorexia and bulimia. Okay, I'll explain this once again next class. Is it fine? Okay. Okay, so take care. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.